Hi, I'm Danny OhSo, and I'm here with my favorite redneck, the Shape NC, Mr. Josh Ullman.
What's
And
going on?
how's it going, man?
Man, life's busy. But here we are. How are you doing?
Yeah, definitely. So this will be a kind of a sideshow that we're going to do whenever we have people on that are not artists, that are cosplayers or collectors or even actors from some point. Um, this is the show that you'll come to see that. And we're just going to come on here sometimes too and just talk and just talk about ourselves because when we have other guests on the art side of the show, we will be really focused on them, and we won't get much time to really kind of talk and go back and forth with each other. Uh,
Yep.
so Josh, when did you get into this whole Myers Halloween stig?
Uh, Honestly, it started for me. I mean, not just Myers, but Halloween in general. It started for me at a very young age. I grew up around on a trail that I actually volunteer at now called Booger Woods, and my family had kind of, well, some of my family had kind of done that back in the day, back in the '80s. So I kind of grew up, just loving the art of the scare. I would dress up
Mhm.
in some ripped blue jeans and a glow in the dark hockey mask with a chainsaw when I was, 9, 10 years old and scare trick or treaters at my parents' house. Um,
Right.
Fast forward to I guess when I was 13 or 14, I started in Booger Woods. So at a very young age, started scaring people, and it just kind of led down the path of just kind of just becoming a collector. The Myers thing, that probably started for me when I was about 15 or 16, I'd say.
Mm.
Um, and then,
Yeah.
it's just kind of spiraled down from there.
Yeah, from that point, like whenever you were 15, like it probably wasn't that common of a thing to get into at the time. Now there's kids in the community that are like 11, 12, 13. I've had customers that are like 11 years old, and then I'll
Yeah.
of course like I talk to their parents and everything before they purchase anything because some of this stuff from these independent artists are it's very high end things.
Right. Right.
So the collection thing, like when did that really kind of pick up for you?
The collection, like just Halloween masks in general or Myers?
Just every genre, like,
Everything.
yeah,
Everything.
or every franchise.
So as far as just masks in general, I'm gonna say I really started collecting when I was about 10. Going to Spirit Halloween. I'm trying to think of another Halloween Town, I think it was called, or something like that. And my grandpa, he just kind of fueled the fire. He was a big Halloween person, and he kind of fueled the fire, bought me mask after mask after mask after year, and just it led into this mask obsession that I now have. So Myers, that started. I was 16, I think, when I got my first Indy Myers mask. It was a Morningside Sanitarium H2O. Um,
Wow,
and I think they're actually kind of long
that's an
gone
old,
now, but yeah, it's an old one.
yeah,
So
old school.
that kind of started for me, like I said, when I was about 16 years old.
Uh, so whenever I got into it, I'm old guys, so just leave me alone about that. But no, it was 1988. My dad showed me Halloween 2. So when I think of Michael Myers, I think of Dick Warlock.
Yep.
Of course, later on, I went and watched the original, and I understood. Like, I get that, like Nick Castle is our shape. So, but that was where my love started. Was at Halloween 2, and my very first mask that I got was a CGP Warlock, like the
Wow.
old, like the original one. Like, and
Yeah. Yeah.
back then, that was a fantastic
Yeah.
mask.
That was a heavy hitter.
Mm-hmm. And I think back then, like really, all we had it was 1998. Whenever I got in the community, joined I believe it was a Yahoo chat room. I always say Yahoo. It could have been AOL,
Right.
but it was like called the Myers Attic or the Myers Basement or something because we didn't have like the OG forum back then.
Right. Right.
So where did you start at? Was it like Facebook or Instagram or just on the old school
It was on the old
Myers.net
school
forum?
forum, yeah, the Myers.net forum. I joined in
Mhm.
2010 or 11. And that's where, this whole world of indie Myers stuff that I had no idea really existed. And, it just come into my life. At the time, I was used to Party City Mask, Don Post.
Right.
At the time, to me, the best Myers that you can get, from the store was the 2006 Don Post. Had several of those copies in there, growing up. And then, like I said, 2011, joined the forums and seen like this world of like all the indie stuff and all these artists and independent makers. And it was just, I'm hooked. It hooked me instantly.
Yeah, and I actually have one of the masks that my dad bought me, but I won't even get it out of the box. It was one of those, I think it was the 98, 99 Don Post Chat.
Yeah.
Like he found it, like the internet was just starting, like in 98, 99, 2000. And he found them on the internet and he bought them. And one of them I obviously used and wore out and didn't know really what I had. So
exactly.
But yeah, I got one of those put up, but I honestly haven't looked at it in like 6 years.
Really?
Sitting in that box of drama. It's in a plastic bag. I would assume that it's not like it's fine. It's like
yeah, as long as it's not like as long as it's stored kind of climate controlled, yeah, it's good, man.
Yeah. It's definitely climate controlled up there in the attic. So, but yeah, like I heard about God, what's his name? Ken Hartland. Is that how you pronounce it?
Hurtline.
Hartland. Yeah. It was like a magazine, like a Fangoria magazine or something. He was advertising those DWKHs, like,
yeah.
And I passed on it for $300. It was a big mistake.
Oh my gosh.
That's what he was selling them for. It was like 300 plus shipping. Like
right.
That was big money back then. Like,
oh yeah.
Like,
and
should have done it,
dude. Definitely. I mean, that's massive money because I remember, the Don Post stuff, it was $40, $50, $60, $70.
Mm-hmm.
And, being a kid, I didn't have my own money. So asking my parents for, hey, Mom, give me this mask. Like, no, you don't need it. You don't need it, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, $300, in hindsight, it wouldn't have been much for that mask at all. But
no, not at all.
Back in the day, yeah, that was again, that was a heavy hitter.
That's how I try to look at things now. Like I try to look at, like, definitely when we have new stuff come out, like I look at the price and then I'm thinking, man, that's a little steep. I don't know if I want to pay that. But then I start thinking later on, like, especially whenever they say like it's a limited run or something like that, then that may not be a bad price right now. I may regret not doing that later. I bought a few things with that mindset. So
yeah, no, me too.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets me in trouble, but sometimes, it works out.
Yeah. Depends on what mood the wife's in.
That's right.
It's kind of a good thing about being an artist because sometimes I make a lot of stuff for other artists and then they in turn make stuff for me. But I just started within the last 2 years, so I don't have that ability. But that's kind of like one of the secrets. I don't know if I should say that or not, but I don't care because I'm papa in the community. So, but I mean, it just kind of depends. Depending on what the item is. I'm not a huge collector, believe it or not. Like I can't get into it. Like I can't have mass amounts of stuff laying around the house. I have my things that I like, but once I start collecting a mass amount of stuff, and I've done it a few times, but I'm like, no, I don't need all this. I'm like having to go around, like, especially if I got masks up, even if they're in a case, like you still got to dust everything. I'm like,
yeah,
when the kids graduate,
Yeah, it's definitely an upkeep. You gotta stay on top of it because latex obviously naturally rots. So you have to, if you got all this money invested in it, you definitely want to be sure that you take care of it.
Right, and that scares me to death. Like that's the thing that scares me to death about masks.
Yeah. I mean, I've had several masks. Well, I mean, several TOTS masks that ain't but 3, 4 years old, 5 years old, and you could take all the care in the world, but at the end of the day, I don't know what they mix their latex with or how good the grade the latex is, but at the end of the day, man, it's gonna rot.
Yeah, with TOTS, I mean, from history, it's not looking like it's majorly high quality stuff, but some of the artists like Caleb Sins, like they figured out ways to like coat the inside of the mask to create that longevity. Yeah. So we got a lot of smart guys in this community. So.
Oh, dude.
But I kind of want to talk about the whole cosplay thing with you too, because really, when it comes down to it, without the collectors and the cosplayers, like we don't have an audience as artists to reach out to. So
right.
And I get a lot of these people in the community, especially some of the collectors, and they'll message me and they'll be like, Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. And it kind of comes off like it's a sign of respect because I'm an artist, but also I start thinking I'm 40 years old. They might just be looking at me like an old man.
Might be.
But we look at them that way too because without them, we we wouldn't have
Right. Well, I
anybody
mean,
to create stuff for, to create a business for. Because on the end, I do this just for the art. That's why I started. I started making stuff for my friends for free for fun,
right.
and then it led to all this. But if you're going to create a mass, like I don't know what the word is, a business frame to where you're providing to the masses, then you have to start looking at it like a business. So,
Right. Yeah, for
but
sure.
without them, we wouldn't have it. So,
Well, that's the thing, dude. We can't. I can't exist, without having artists like y'all.
mm,
Artists like y'all can't, create the art and sell it to people without, like me. You know what I mean? I
mm,
got fumbled up on my words there, but I'm a dumb redneck. So,
yes,
no. So I mean, it works. It works in tandem for sure.
yes,
So again, without y'all, I'm I'm talentless when it comes to stuff like that. And I've tried many times, and I'm just a freaking idiot. So
right. Well, no, because I mean, really, in the end, you all sell our stuff for us in some way, shape, or form. Because that it happens all the time. You make something, especially for a cosplayer, and then they go out and take these awesome pictures that you all
yeah,
have. That's an art in itself. Like that's why I consider the cosplayers an artist too, because you're creating like photography. That's art.
yeah,
It's art in some fashion. So, and then you all turn around and sell our stuff for us because every time that I will make something for a cosplayer and they post a picture, I'll at least get a few sales off of it.
right,
People
right,
will message me. I saw this that you made on so and so's Instagram because they posted pictures with it and like, yeah, I want one. Whatever the case is, and so we're like really kind of dependent on you all in some way, shape, or form.
yeah. I mean, again, without y'all, the artists in the community, we wouldn't have accurate stuff to be able to look like we just walked right off screen. That's why I try to support every artist that I work with. You, Connor, Ryan, RMH Studios. You know, I'm
Mm-hmm.
forgetting a lot, but Nag.
There's
Um,
tons of them.
yeah. I mean, I can't name them all. But yeah, I mean, I try to support everybody that in turn supports me. By making hey what I need. It's just a
Mm-hmm.
little gratitude
Right.
and respect right there.
Right. And speaking of like some of those artists, like, our I hear some of these people in the community like, oh, you got this click over there and you got that click over there. Like, I don't know what they're talking about whenever they say clicks. Like,
Right.
yeah, you create a friend group no matter where you go. It's just like
That's right.
sports. Like, you
That's right.
have like your friend group. And a lot of those guys that you just mentioned, like Connor and Ryan, Caleb, like, like we're just in a friend group. Like,
Yeah.
like we just
Yeah.
we all kind of live within a vicinity of each other. Connor lives kind of Midwest, but when we have the ability to meet up with each other, unfortunately, Ryan's on the other side of the earth. I mean, the country. But
Might as well be the earth.
yeah, I know, he's far away, being out there
Thanks, Ron.
in Riverside. But yeah, and uh, they with that, like we support each other in
Hmm.
that sense. Like I wouldn't have went this far if I didn't have people like Caleb and Connor, like especially in the beginning. Like those are the two
Right.
guys that kept whenever I didn't feel like I was good, and I still don't think I'm good.
No.
But I get told that. But like I don't think I'll ever feel that way because I look at other people's art and I'm just like, oh God, like yeah, like because I'm not seeing the process. I
Dude,
think.
same. I mean, it's on the opposite end of the spectrum for you. You compare your art to somebody else's art. Me
Mhm.
as a person that dresses up cosplaying or whatnot, I compare myself to other people that may portray Michael or Jason. So I don't think I pull off honestly a good Myers. I'm my worst critic, if you will. I just
Yeah.
don't think I'll ever be, you know, in my eyes, I'll never be where I want to be. You know what I mean?
Right, and that's the same mentality that I have. But in the end, it's kind of like a blessing in disguise because I think it just keeps like pushing us
Oh, yeah, man.
to continue to do
You
things that we're
push.
doing.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. The
Definitely,
grind never stops when you have a mentality like that.
definitely, and like, yeah, getting into these conventions that we just recently started with Connor last month. Like Connor brought us the Whorehound and kind of showed me and Caleb how to operate at a convention. And you know, in a month we've got one that we've got to do, and uh, uh, I just feel like I'm gonna bomb that. But at the same time, I've got my friend group there. Like I have Connor there. Like if I do something wrong, he's just he's going.
Yeah, man, that's your support line.
No, Connor doesn't do that. But no, he will correct me, and he's been the best person in the world to give me instructional criticism. He's not afraid to, and I don't want him to be afraid to, because I don't need to know what I'm doing right. I need to know what I'm doing wrong.
Exactly. If you don't ever know that, you don't ever know what to improve on.
No. So I just try to keep the frame of mind that I'm just going to keep moving forward. But going into that, like I started in I think it was like September of 2022. So I'm pushing 2 years.
Yeah. And
this thing has blown up to a degree that I could not imagine.
Like, yeah, absolutely.
I was given 2-month turnaround times whenever I should have been given 4 or 5 month turnaround times. That's how green I was. Like so green. But here's the thing: the people in the community, I can just like 98% of them, I can go to and be like, yeah, I suck at predicting turnaround times. Yeah. And most people know that. They're like, no. What they tell me is, and I think it's just a load of crap. They're like, oh, you can't rush perfection. I'm like, I've never done anything perfect. I'm never going to do anything perfect. So. But I appreciate that. And I get what you're saying. So, but they've been nothing but kind and patient.
Yeah, absolutely, man. There's a lot of good people in this community.
Yes.
And there's also a lot of peckerheads.
Yeah. I mean, it don't matter where you go. You're going to have your bad apples.
Right.
It doesn't matter. And, there's always going to be that small group of people that feels like that you owe them everything when you owe them.
For sure.
Yeah. But, and this is not even really worth talking about, but, I think that's what like brings like a lot of the kids to the to the community, because I'm sure there's some. I don't think that there's a bunch, but there's probably some that just are not that have no like-minded friends like at school, especially the younger ones and stuff like that. And then they can come here, and there's tons of like-minded people. They can talk to.
Yeah.
And that was the big problem with me whenever I kind of started running this business, was I would be online talking too much, because I'm just a straight up horror nerd, just like everybody else. And I'll start a conversation with somebody, and then 4 hours later realize I've been talking to them for hours when I couldn't do work. So that's been one of my things I've been trying to kind of change.
Yeah, man, no, but it's good. Like you can confide in, like-minded people and talk to people like that, because out in the real world, outside of the community, you may not get to express how, I guess, involved you are, in the horror community.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Because I've been in here on and off. Like it's been, so 1998, what is that, like 26 years?
Yeah, long time.
It's a long damn time. But it's been on and off. I was a professional wrestler for years. I don't know if you knew that. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, for about 15 years I was a professional wrestler. And I actually had a stunt guy that he filmed a lot in like Atlanta and stuff, but he was a wrestler too, and he told us, because I was talking to him one night about movies. I think I was talking to him about Halloween movies one night, and I was like, they always use stuntman and everything. This has been a long time ago, before I was like fully educated on it. But he said, we're the ultimate stuntman, because we have to go out every night in one take and do this and not get hurt, so we can do it the next night.
Right.
Like, wow. So that makes sense as to why they'll search out for like pro wrestlers, like Tyler Mane, professional wrestler. Time I seen Tyler Mane, or the first time I seen him, WCW wrestling. Back in the day. Yep. And I can't remember what the gimmick was, but he finished it out with the ultimate gimmick. So.
I think his wasn't he Big Sky? Wasn't that his name?
I think. I can't.
It's been a long time since I watched wrestling.
Yeah, but that's kind of one of the things I'd like to do with this segment or this show. Maybe whenever we see him next month and everything, I'm going to kind of see if maybe we can get him to pop on and talk, not just about Halloween, but talk about wrestling.
Yeah, man,
you're a wrestling fan, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Back in the day, I had watched. Yeah.
When you were a kid, right?
WCW. Yeah.
Yeah, you grew up as a wrestling fan. So.
Oh yeah.
I'm not even a wrestling fan. After you've been in the ring, like coming back and watching it after the fact, like
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that will be fun. I don't know if we'll be able to accomplish that or not, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, the wrestler is the ultimate stuntman, and I never thought about it like that until this guy had laid it out for me. And I was like, you're right, because if they mess up, they can just go back, start over, and do another take. Like we couldn't do that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's a live show right there.
Yeah, we had to be on top of our game. But back to the Halloween stuff. So you've done quite a bit, like in your cosplay. Like you've had Doug Tate come in and actually what happened there? You all like photographed him or?
Yeah. So I'll just give you the rundown. So I met Doug Tate at Mad Monster, which is a convention here in North Carolina, near Charlotte. Kind of met him. I'm blurry again. Met him. Like I said, at Mad Monster. We talked and really we talked about Halloween Returns, and
Right.
I told him, like, in the Haunted Trail that I portray Michael Myers at, I took kind of that idea of Michael in the electric chair and I applied it in our scene at the woods. And I was, showing him videos and pictures and all that. And he was, seemed intrigued. So fast forward.
So wait. So you being in the electric chair, you got that from the Halloween Returns script?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, see, I never put that together.
So
that kind of shocked me.
So with Halloween Returns, Michael Myers was on death row.
Right.
My scene isn't death row, but I always loved the idea of Michael Myers in the electric chair. So I took that and put it in my scene. So fast forward from Mad Monster, I guess probably a year and a half, and me and Doug had talked through Instagram, a couple times before, he hit me up and was like, "Hey man, I know you work at the Haunt. Would you be interested in me coming out, sign autographs, photo ops, stuff like that?"
And by the home, you mean?
Yeah, the Booger Woods.
The Myers house.
No.
Is that what you're talking
No, so the Haunt.
I thought you said the home.
Redneck.
Home. Okay.
Redneck again. So Booger Woods. I'll refer to as Booger Woods. He hit me up. He was like, "Hey man, I know you work at Booger Woods. Would you like for me to come out, sign autographs, make an appearance, do photo ops, stuff like that?" Right. Sure, man. So we worked it out. He come on a Friday. He actually come on a Thursday. We'd done a VIP like a meet and greet dinner with him at a local restaurant. Friday he was at Booger Woods, and he'd done some photo ops there. And what's crazy is he used, for his photo ops, he used my Kills mask done up by RMH. He used my prop knife, my Halloween 3 bloody skull that I done up, and my eye patch. Which was surreal in itself, man. Just having Doug Tate come out and visit the haunt. We're a backwoods, redneck haunt. We're a charity actually. So having him there was just, I don't know, man. It was amazing. So,
and regardless of the role, like he was the shape for a certain point. When Jim walked off the set and then he walked on, like for that moment, So he they count that. Everybody does.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he donned the mask. He was Michael Myers. So after Booger Woods that Friday night, me and him went to Myers House NC, and he done a meet and greet there, sign autographs, photo ops on the Michael Myers or the Myers House porch. And it was just kind of a whole surreal weekend because I pretty much got to hang out with Doug Tate almost the entire weekend.
Right. Yeah.
So that friendship kind of developed over that, and we talk every once in a while now. But I feel like that's the ultimate goal, as to be accepted by, in this whole cosplaying, dressing up like your favorite serial killer. That right there was like, man, like he accepts me as Michael Myers. I mean, it's just kind of a surreal feeling.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so as a cosplayer, you probably made many purchases through so many different artists. So kind of elaborate on some of your favorites and like some of like the most memorable items that you purchased through these artists.
Yeah. So like I said earlier, the first indie mask that I got was a Morningside Sanitarium H2O. And that came in, and I seen the quality of like the latex. It felt different than like store-bought latex. It was thicker. It just had a better
Right.
paint on it. So I got hooked, pretty much then. So fast forward, I think a year, I purchased a Resurrected by Gary Mongar at H3O Productions. I'm not sure if he's still. I don't think he's still around. This was back in 2000.
I've heard the
11.
name, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's that had to have been a minute ago.
Yeah. So 2011, 12. It was a H8 mask. I always kind of liked how pissed off that expression was on that mask, so which is why I kind of floated more towards the H8. So anyway, kind of tangent there. So Gary Mongar got the Resurrected from. Ended up selling it a few years ago. Wish I wouldn't have, just because it's kind of one of my first. But nowadays, mainly the people that I deal with are yourself. I got a couple props from you. Of course, if you watch my YouTube channel, Ryan over at RMH Studios, Connor over at Creepy Customs, Nick over at Nag, all those. A lot of my stuff comes from them. Connor's done, man, I think, probably 7 or 8 pairs of coveralls for me. Ryan's done 1 pair of coveralls for me and about, I don't know, 6 or 7, 8 masks that I have right now. So dealing with
Ryan, let me stop you there, because I'll forget to ask you this. So you said you got a suit from Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen him online, like, and he knows what he's doing, and
he knows. And
I've seen Remy do them too, and they're good. I mean, in my opinion, Connor's the GOAT, and that's not me being biased. Like, I thought that before I was ever friends with him, but like, these guys can cut it too. Like, so compare like I haven't seen it in person, so I'm asking you, like, Ryan's suit, like. Was it more than what you were expecting? Or?
Yeah, so Ryan, man, he knocked it out of the park. The one and only suit that he's done for me is the Corey Cunningham copycat.
Right. Okay.
From Halloween Ends.
I've seen the video. I know.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like it just come off the screen. I got the, I guess, variant where Corey had got shot. So there's blood trailing down, and I've done some screen grabs from ends and compared it to my suit that Ryan done, and that pattern is almost identical. And he done the necessary steps. The pocket relocation, zipper, button added. I think something about the collar's extended or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I think Connor's told me that. Or something like that.
Yeah. Ryan said, I haven't talked to Connor really about the copycat suit, but Ryan said that these are a pain to do. Like, there's so much work.
Pretty much said like the same thing too. Like,
yeah. I mean, he said there's just so much work involved with them. It's just almost unreal. And I didn't know. I don't know if he's still doing them. And that's the thing. Ryan's never really advertised that he does coveralls. I'm sure the man can. Any pair of coveralls that he wants to do. Is extremely talented.
Right. But I've seen him do an ends knot too, and I'm like, oh, great. Because I had so many people like ordering them at that time, and I was like, I can send them to you, and he's like, no. So he just he does what he wants, and that's that's one of the great things about Ryan. Like, he don't care. He
don't care.
And he's a respectable artist at the same time. But he's got this. I'm gonna do whatever I want to do, and I'm gonna do it whenever I want to do it, and that's why you get that kind of work from him. And like, Remy's the same way. Connor does what he wants to do as well, but like, he doesn't have an attitude. He's like the nicest person in the world.
Nah, man, I love dealing with Ryan, and it jogged my memory. So the pair, his personal ends coveralls that he done for himself last Halloween, he's doing some touch ups on them, and I bought those from him. So he's going to be sending them, whenever he sends them. But also I'll have that pair of ends coveralls from him as well. Right. So technically he's done 2 pairs of coveralls for me.
So you remember whenever he posted that video, it wasn't this past Halloween, the Halloween before last, when he was dressed up like Corey, and the kids like asked him if he's real. Like, dude, he looked like he walked like right off the set.
Right off the set, man.
Like, I copied some stuff from him, like going out in Halloween, not like the little bit of bending the knees, like just some of the mannerisms.
Dude,
what I kind of got from that.
Yes,
I
he's got it down to a
completely stole
science.
that from him. But
Yeah.
I mean, like he's so talented. Like I don't think it's ever going to end. Like,
No, no. I mean that everything that dude does. He posted a Thanksgiving hat that he had done several months ago.
mhm.
He's restoring Cinema Secrets H8 for me right now, and I've
That's
seen
good.
pictures of it. Yeah, I think he posted them on his page maybe a month or
I
so
have
ago.
to go on there. Like I don't have time with all my work.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah,
have to go on there like one day and go through like everybody's page and
yeah,
like everything. Because, but yeah, man, I go on there and I'm still like 2 years later just shocked every time I
yeah,
see things.
yeah, yeah.
And then
I
his
mean,
what? How do you feel about his his buddy? Um, it's Connor's buddy too, Brandon George. Like he's like the greatest
dude,
Rob
that
Zombie
dude,
rehauler in the world. That's what I posted on his
that
personal mask
dude.
last night. Like I think I posted something like, "Oh, my panties just got wet," because I'm
Yeah,
stupid
yeah,
to do
yeah,
that shit. But yeah, he's like he's the best. Like I need
dude.
to
I
meet
mean,
this guy. I've never talked to him, but I need to.
yeah, yeah. I actually, this was probably 2 or 3 years ago. I bought some RZ coveralls from him that
Mhm.
man, I don't even remember who done them now, but I bought some from him. But going back to the RZ mask that he's doing now, dude, that dude is the absolute goat of RZ masks.
Continues to up the bar because I asked Ryan one day.
Yeah,
I was like, how much? Like, there's got to be a cap on how good that this guy can get. And Ryan's like,
dude.
it's endless. Like,
Yeah,
it's
sky's the
endless.
limit, man.
Yeah,
That dude. I mean,
amazing.
uh, I think he was at age 45, and I'm sure he's seen some screen used masks that Tyler Main had there.
Mhm.
And I'm sure he took pictures of them.
Oh yeah,
But that dude is the goat of RZ masks. I know
right.
I said that like twice or 3 times, but
It needs
yeah,
to be said probably more than that. So,
yeah. I mean, I hope I can get a mask from him, sometime in the future.
do you know him well enough? Like, can you lock him in for us to
I mean,
talk to him one day?
I've talked to him a couple times.
We can get Ryan to
But
talk to him. I bet.
yeah, we can get Ryan to talk to him. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I think they're
Yeah,
pretty
because
good
I
buddies.
would love to talk to that guy. Okay, so here's me being a little bit of fanboy. So I just didn't ever message him. Like whenever I started doing, I really I knew who he was, and I've always watched him and followed him, but I really started paying attention to him whenever I started dipping into the Rob Zombie stuff, the
Hmm.
knives and the boots and stuff. And I was like, I thought a couple times about reaching out to him and see if I could just have a quick conversation with him. I know he's probably busy, so I didn't do that. I was like, no, I'm gonna see if I can get recognized by this guy.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is complete fanboy of me, but I don't care. I'm a fan. I don't care. I
Yeah.
could care less. And finally, the other day on one of on the Rob Zombie Facebook group, like he complimented on those H1 boots I did that I put hours into those. Like God, like just trying to get it right. And there's still things I could have corrected, but he said something like, "That's disgustingly awesome," and that was a badge of honor for me.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think that's sometimes like some of the other community members, just the regular non-artist community members, don't realize that like we're like that's our badge of honors. Like whenever they see the other artists complimenting us, like because it's not that we don't appreciate the other guys. Like I always appreciate any compliment that I get, but the people who knows the process and knows probably what you had to go through to
Right.
achieve that look, and then they compliment you, especially someone high level as Brandon McGeorge, like that
Right.
meant something to me. So
Yeah, and I don't know if him and Ryan worked on the
the
revert sculpt
revert,
together.
the
Yeah,
revert,
yeah. I still got one I have to unbox and do a video on, but
is it
that
still sitting in the box?
yeah, dude,
Oh, wow.
man, I've had that thing for months, and I haven't
Yeah.
unboxed it yet. But that that level of professionalism, kind of creating something that we didn't really see in the 18 film,
Right.
and bringing it to life, between him and Ryan is, that speaks volumes about
Right.
the kind of artist that he is.
Yeah, and it's like I remember somebody made a comment about it one day. I don't remember how long ago it was. Like, what is this mask? What's this from? I'm like, dude, like, no, you obviously just don't know. Like, what you haven't done the research, so why
Right.
you want him to compliment about it? Because if you had done it, you would know exactly what it is.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
almost like dogging him. And I like to shut that shit down. Like, sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't cuss, but I'm
No,
trying
no,
not to
you're
do
good.
that. But
No, you're good.
but yeah, no, I had to. I shut that down too. I was like, just stop. Like
Some
why
people
do
just
we
don't
have
need to
that
comment, man.
that's something too. Like, have you had to experience that from a collector or a cosplay standpoint? Like criticism, like just unnecessary criticism. It's just,
Uh, you know, honestly, not really. The only thing that's really got criticism is out of my collection is the Halloween ends table that I have. And the thing that they say
the
about
table.
yeah, that Michael dies on. Yeah,
Like, who else is going to go spend? You know how much that table probably costs. Like
yeah,
that is a huge. Like you could use that as a workbench, like in a huge garage. Like, and that's
yeah,
going to cost you probably $3 or $4 grand. Like,
yeah.
how could somebody?
Well, they say, everything from this film. I've seen everything like from everything in this film should be dirt cheap because this movie was trash, or you should probably just burn the table, or just smart aleck comments like that. Uh, but other than that, I mean, I haven't released a lot of my collection as far as like a collection video. I've done like a live on Instagram before, but I haven't released a lot about my
So
full
how
collection.
about then the next time that we do one of these? We can do it next week, in 2 weeks, whenever. Um, would it be a big ordeal for you to just me to sit here and you just kind of go through the room?
No,
You
no,
could
I can do
probably
that.
do this. You could do this on your phone. I
Yeah.
guarantee you could.
Well,
And we
I
could
can
just
I can take the little camera I got right here and kind of or I can use my phone. That'd probably be easier.
it'd probably be better to take the phone because you can get right up on stuff. Like,
Yeah, yeah, we can
turn
do
all the
that.
lights on, make it bright, and
Yeah,
we'll
yeah, we can definitely do that.
definitely do that. That's a good idea. Yeah, I mean that kind of just goes to where uh, I was just kind of wanting to, or I was saying in the beginning of the show, like this is that this side show that we're doing. This just kind of gives us time to get on here and just you and I talk.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
and wanting artists just get on here and shoot the shit and just talk about
yeah,
whatever. Because whenever
yeah.
we're interviewing artists, like we're not gonna have a lot of time to like
Well, exactly. I
get
mean, I
back
feel
into
like
it.
I feel like shows like this. I can ask you about your projects going on. You can ask me about my projects going on. We
Mhm.
can BS a lot. When we have a guest on, I kind of want all the attention on them and them alone, and then we just say some redneck shit.
Right. Yeah, and I apologize about rubbing my beard. This is kind of new to me, so because I'm growing the hair out,
Uh
and
huh.
this is the oh god, it's I don't know if you've ever had long hair in your life, but
I
the
have.
most miserable part is in the nasty middle whenever you're just trying to get along.
It's
Because I always
horrible.
have a hat on or a headband or
Yep.
something. Because if I don't, it's like an afro.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
It's at
but
that awkward stage where like nothing you do with it looks good.
mhm.
It's
And
worth
I've
it though.
always kind of wanted to go for like that kind of sophisticated white trash look where you got a huge beard and long hair. And my job, I thought for years I couldn't do that. My day job, and they were like, "Nothing, like you work inside the plant, like nobody sees you. You can do
Right.
whatever you want to do." So I was like, "Okay, no more haircuts, saving
That's
some
right.
money there." you know? But no, uh, and definitely probably me getting into this Rob Zombie stuff over the last year probably kind of getting that
Oh yeah.
Charles Manson look
That's
kind of
right. That's right.
influenced it a little bit. But yeah, kind of doing this show, like I just want to give us like a platform to get on here and just talk about whatever and
Yeah.
have other guests on that are not actual artists inside the community. And who knows?
And then it gives a
We might have
chance.
somebody on outside of the Halloween franchise
Yeah. 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 I mean,
eventually. So,
it gives the chance for the viewers to kind of see what we're about. See what you got going on, what I got going on. Introduce ourselves if they may not follow us on our platforms. We
yeah.
can.
If you don't, just the way he has it labeled under his screen, just put an @ sign and you'll find him. And then
Yep.
me is just OhSo props. It'll all be down in the description. Um, and we've, man, this is like where this is all new and everything. Like, I just can't believe like this is happening. Connor hooked us up with his old band to give us the theme song that you hear in the beginning. Like, and they're amazing. Gosh, how
Doppelganger.
he's gonna smack me next time. Doppelganger, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But I'll have I'll have a link to their YouTube channel down in the
For
bottom.
sure. For sure.
And
Shout out Doppelganger.
yes, definitely. Like I was amazed. Like I just wanted a rock song. I messaged him. I was like, "Hey, I know you used to be in a band, and I don't want to worry about having to worry about copyright because they'll tag us here. on YouTube. Like, definitely, you can't do that. Don't ever use anything that has copyright that you don't have permission to use, kids. It's something you don't want to deal with. But within like 15, 20 minutes, he messaged me back, and he didn't even message me. He just sent me a link to the song. He's like, yeah, they did this a couple Halloweens ago, or last Halloween or something. I'm like, oh my god, that's perfect. Like, can we use it? And he's like, yeah. They said definitely just shout out to him. I'm like, oh yeah, that's how it's done, huh?
Yeah, easy enough. Easy enough.
But yeah, they're very, very talented. So, was there anything else you kind of want to talk about? Sorry, my neighbor's cutting grass. If y'all hear that, I apologize.
It is springtime, summertime arises.
That's what I did earlier today, and it was like, after you do it that first time, it's on.
Oh my gosh!
Every week you have to do it every single week. So
so I do that as a side. This is way off subject of Halloween, but yeah, I mow. Well, sort of. I mow on the side to kind of help fund my Halloween obsession.
Addiction. I mean, yeah, Halloween obsession. But so kind of reflect on where you started at with the whole cosplay thing. Like, what got you into it? Like, I know you said you started at your haunt. What did you say it was called?
Booger Woods.
Yeah, Booger Woods. Okay, so what enticed you? Like, what influenced you to start dressing up?
So as I stated earlier, I loved, just the art of scaring people. I love to scare people. I love to see their reactions. But kind of honestly, of course, I've seen, Halloween 1 through 8. I guess you can count the RZs too. Numerous times each. Before I really got heavily into Michael Myers. I guess honestly, when 2018 come out, there was this whole hype about, Michael Myers returns 40 years later, he dons the mask again. Mm-hmm. And at this point in life, I was, I had a full-time job. I was making my own money. So I didn't have to, rely on somebody to buy me the stuff that I wanted. So, with help from, the Facebook and the Myers forum, we were able to kind of nail like what kind of boots Myers had, what the suit was. Mm-hmm. Of course, the mask is the mask. What kind of knife, does he carry? So 2018, honestly, brought me in like, all right, if I'm going to portray Michael Myers at Booger Woods, and which I'd already been doing since 2011, if I'm going to portray him, I want to look like I just stepped off screen.
You wanted to accurately execute.
Yeah. I wanted people to think again, like I walked off screen, like I was accurate as possible. So,
and that's not cheap, kids.
No, Lord God, it ain't. So I buy. Luckily, I was lucky enough to buy some Arctic 8s off of Amazon. Bought a work right suit. I remember the company I bought it from. And then Tots released the mask, and I didn't have it rehauled yet. But so that the 2018 was the first year that I've become, incredibly. I just become screen accurate. I had all the, the right undershirt, boots.
Oh, I'm sure it was incredibly screen accurate, but.
So fast forward from that, and I'm introduced to, and I'd seen Connor's work before, and I'm like, man, he's doing these suits, to be more accurate, because when I just bought the work rights, I still had the tags on them, just like you just bought it from the store. So, I hit Connor up, that was kind of a start of a beautiful friendship, I feel like. So yeah. I think the first pair he done for me was a set of, what was it? It was a set of Keels was the first ones he done for me. And then, it was H1s, and then the rest is history. I got several pairs from him, and I don't remember the order, but that's kind of how I got started, wanting to be accurate. Then 2019, I created the Shape NC on Instagram, and then that right there in itself opened up a whole nother world. Like, man, there's other pages out here that's dressing like Myers, and they look amazing. So me being a competitive dude, I'm like, all right, I gotta do this and this, because again, I want to be as accurate as possible. No. So 2019 started the Shape NC, and then in 2021 maybe
Hmm.
2021, I think I started the YouTube channel, just like unboxing videos and stuff like that. Just trying to broaden, my name, get my name out there just a little bit more. I think I met you kind of. I don't know if you've seen my YouTube first or my Instagram first, but I know you had one of the first times we had talked about like the YouTube channel, and you said like you're like one of the faces of the community. You're one of the personalities in the community. And then,
Right.
that's
Yeah,
when,
you are.
that's when we, started our friendship. So, being able to take like some funny skits, in the beginning and then
Mhm.
talk about the art itself and then actually doing some ones, I feel like I have a pretty decent formula for all my unboxing videos. I love to make people laugh. I love to scare people and look like
That's why I
come out of a movie.
resonated with watching your stuff, because I
Yeah.
think I'm that way too. I've had anything I do. Obviously, if you went back, my reels and everything. Like
Hmm.
if we're not laughing, we're crying. But
That's
at
it.
the same time, like that all kind of started with me years ago. I lost quite a few friends to suicide, and it's like you never know
All
if
right.
you're making somebody laugh one day and they've had a horrible day, you could potentially have somebody else's day end differently because you made them laugh. Like you
Right.
release
Right.
endorphins. Like and then I love to laugh myself too. So obviously that's another reason. But
Hmm.
yeah, like you do the kind of the same things. I was like, yeah, this guy's from the South, just like me. Even though I'm a little bit more northern than you, but and he's comedic too, and just wanting to laugh and have a good time, and
Yeah, that's it,
instead of
man.
looking at negative, like I've never like really seen you ever like have to like or talked about like dealing with negativity. Like you just shut it out. Like if it happens, it happens, and then boom, it didn't happen anymore, and
Yeah,
go on.
man. I
That's how
mean,
I try to
that's
be.
it. That's it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It don't pay to worry. It don't pay to be negative.
Mm-hmm.
I I try to be as humble as I can with everybody in the community. I try to reach out, talk to whoever messages me. I get random messages, almost daily. But I try to make it a mission of mine, just to talk with everybody. And I'm nothing special at all. So like, I
Oh
just
yeah.
I just try to keep it real with people. You know what I mean?
I know you are to a lot of people, and that's like the thing I think none of us realize. Like, because for me, like things changed in my life years ago. Whenever I stopped worrying about what a bunch of other people thought about me, who really like I would worry about what other people thought that really didn't care. Like
Hmm.
whenever I stopped worrying about that and not caring about anybody else's opinion, and the main thing was I stopped. Um, I stopped dwelling on the the negative side of my life, like that I couldn't control.
Right.
Started being thankful for everything I had, and I mean, we're not on here trying to, you know, have a have a motivational talk, but I mean, that's like whenever I started around that time, like it sunk in, like around COVID, because I think a lot of us got depressed too, and I was like, I'm just gonna do my own thing. Like, obviously, nobody
Right.
cares. Nobody reaches out to you who you thought might reach out to you whenever we're locked in, and can't go anywhere or whatever. And then around that time, I was like, I don't care. I care about what my wife and my kids think about me, and that's it.
That's it.
Life got
That's it.
way better,
Yep.
way better
Yep.
after that,
Absolutely.
and that helped me. And then I shortly after that, I was like, I'm gonna start messing around with some stuff, and then I started making knives and then selling them because I got talked into it. I never did it on my own. I was
Hmm.
making knives for like Connor and a few other friends, and they were getting posted, and people were asking and
Right.
asking and asking to be able to take a commission or whatever. And finally, I gave in and did it. Like I
Yeah.
didn't seek out to do this on my own, and then it's turned into this. But that's off the subject. But yeah, that's what made me resonate with you was like I saw a lot of how I am
Yeah.
in you.
Hmm.
So that got my attention.
Yeah. Redneck Central, boy.
Definitely, and I think that's something that I mean, there. People talk about the whole like Southern charm, Southern intuition, and everything like that. But I believe it's real, like because it's just
It's most
we
certainly real.
don't live as fast as other people do in the larger cities.
Right. Right. I couldn't.
Mm-mm.
I'm more, just go with the flow
I don't
most
know
of the
how
time.
Ryan does it. I lived in Riverside for 8 months back in 2006, because I was wrestling out there. There was a like an advanced school that I went to, and then they would book you out there, and I lived there, and that travel from Riverside to LA. Now, if you had the distance like here, like in Kentucky or in North Carolina, I think you probably 30 minutes to drive there. It takes over an hour because it's like just
Traffic, I guess.
Traffic, the mass amount of people, and yeah, that life is too fast for me. And I think Brian I don't know, be feeling the same way because he's a redneck just like us. He's just a Western one.
Shoot, yeah.
Maybe he might end up out here. Who knows? Who knows?
Hope so. Get out here, Ron. Get out here.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah, today now.
But back to the back to the YouTube channel. What I was going to say too earlier, but I was letting you finish. But like what we're doing here now is like we're showcasing the independent artists. But you were really doing that for us with your YouTube channel beforehand.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Well, I mean, that of course everything that I unbox is artists that I've dealt with within the community, and not just my urge. I recently started getting into like Jason Voorhees stuff. So Kyle Hookalak, right. I don't know if you've heard of him or not. He's up in Canada. He does amazing work. So I got some stuff coming up with to unbox. That has that's his work. But you deal with you might deal with some other artists than what I deal with. I got a H40 coming in. Well, I think Caleb is working on it now, but I'll have a piece of his work in my collection, which I'm very stoked for. But that yeah, man,
came up so fast, I've never seen another artist come up like that fast.
That dude, man, he's got it down. He's got it.
And we're talking about our other co-host who isn't here right now, but
Caleb.
Caleb from Shape Studios.
Shape Studios.
We'll have him linked down there too in the below us. So I hate when they're like, in down below, like I try to find another thing to say, but yeah, we'll have everything linked down there so you can go and look at everybody. But Caleb, go on his Instagram. It's like I said, I'll link it down there, but it's at Shape Studios. Go back to the beginning and look at the date, and then go through to present day. It's not that long. It's a year and a half.
Yeah, maybe.
A year, maybe a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
It's like a day and night.
Dude has progressed so fast.
The progression
and
his work is so good. Most artists have to have like 5 to 6 years to get.
Yeah. And his work is so good.
Yeah, and he's had Ryan too to help him. Like he's had other artists that's, and not everybody gets that. Like, but he befriended Ryan and James over at Seven Sins. Like he's had some people in his ear like helping him out, but he had the talent before that anyways. Like
right.
Getting there.
Yeah, a super talented guy. That H40 that his personal H40 that I put on at Whorehound.
Oh,
that mask is unreal.
Mm-hmm.
It's unreal.
Yeah, like one day I'll have like 3 or 4 masks in here, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm doing stuff different. Like, give it back. Let me fit." And then I'll have like none. And then he'll pour them all back to me, and then I'll have a bunch, and then he's like, "No, let me fix it." Like he's always critiquing everything that he does.
Right. I think that's what makes a good artist.
Before he peaks. Like,
oh yeah. But that drive, that's what makes a good artist for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Like, and he's young. He's just got it. Like he's got it made as an artist, as a young artist, in the sense like they don't have kids yet. Him and his fiance are about to get married, so he's got like the time.
Yep.
He works 4 days a week. Like it's like he's in like the perfect situation.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, obviously we wouldn't trade our kids for nothing, but like at the stage of his life, like it's worked out. Like it's supposed to work out, and like he's just very, very, very smart man. So, but so was there anything else you wanted to talk about before we hop off here? I think we did the job. If you ask me.
Yeah. I mean, again, this is a episode. Just trying to let everybody know what we're about. What we got going on. I think
we should just simply call this the Sideshow. I think it's I like simple shit. I don't know. Did you have any ideas? Let's name the show right now while we're doing the show.
Sideshow. Well, let's do it.
The Sideshow. I like it because it kind of sounds like you want to a carnival with a bunch of waiting on the
Bunch of
side
rejects,
shows.
man.
All the freaks, yeah.
That's
So
it.
they said you're waiting on the rednecks over here. So
That's right, the Myers Community Rednecks.
Yes, your two favorite rednecks. So.
There is going to be a Halloween franchise replica art Instagram. I'm gonna plug this in here. Haven't made it yet, but
by the time
Danny,
that this video is uploaded, it'll be made.
Yeah, so Danny will probably share that on his story. I know I'll share it on my story. So go check us out there, follow us, give us a like, tell us you hate us. It don't matter.
If he's got it done, by the time I upload this video, it'll be down in the description.
Yep. So check below.
Well, definitely.
Below.
And next, don't know exactly when we're doing it, but I'm gonna reach out to him here in just a little bit, and we're gonna have Brian from RMH Studios that we've talked a lot about today. And then later in the month, we will have Mr. Sam Hain. You can go check him out on Instagram. Is it Mr. Sam Hain?
I think it's Mr. Sam Hain.
I will make sure exactly what the handle is and put it in the description.
Yeah. Dude is so talented. That's a talented artist right there.
God,
hyper realistic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I have no idea, and we got some stuff to look at. Did you see Caleb sending us stuff
right now
from our group chat? Like that. Kid's always working. Like he's always working. That's why.
Caleb, we are doing a show right now, and you want to sit here and interrupt this? How dare you?
Want to send us a bunch of Halloween ends mask photos?
How dare you?
No, I'm gonna go look at it. But yeah, so next time we will be having Ryan on. We're gonna make this a separate playlist. So all the artist interviews will be on its own playlist. You can go to all videos and find everything. So, but this will definitely be our sideshow. Just kind of do whatever we want to. Oh, excuse me, I'm stumbling on my words. To do whatever we want to do, have whoever we want to have on. It's definitely people who are not artist related. So this is going to be the place where we just come and shoot the shit and have fun. So.
Yep. If you haven't already, follow Danny on Instagram at OhSo Props. And if you want to follow me, my name is right here, _NC on Instagram and on YouTube. If you want to see
and I have an Instagram page coming for our convention group, because we kind of all been together, because Caleb provides the masks, Connor does the costuming, he does like the resin props. I don't do resin props. Like I'm an armorer. So and then I do all the props and like boots and everything. So we're a one-stop shop for Myers Cosplay, but we only operate at conventions. So I will be adding that down below. So
Slasher Bros.
Slash Bros. You know where that came from?
No, where'd it come from?
Do you watch UFC?
I haven't in a while.
Okay, so there's a guy named from Sweden, but he's actually more like where Habib. I can't pronounce his name. Nurmagomedov. You know who Khabib is?
Yeah.
The undefeated guy, but he's one of those Islamic Russian guys and he's never been beat. So him and his buddy Darren Till, who's Swedish too, like they called each other the Smash Bros, but with his accent it's Smash, the Smash Bros. So, but Connor and I are UFC fans, so we came up with the Slash Bros.
The Slash Bros, clever.
And we will be at Smoky Mountain Terror on June 8th and 9th. This guy right here will be there with us, helping us out, promoting this podcast, and I'm sure we can probably get Caleb away from mask making for a couple of days to come down.
Oh yeah. Caleb better be there.
No, he'll be there, and if you're down in the Tennessee area, it's Kingsport, Tennessee, and I will put a link to their Instagram down below as well. So, do you have anything else, bro?
I think that's it.
All right.
About wraps it up.
And we will see you next time with Ron from RMH Studios.
See y'all.